WSFA 12 News and the Raycom News Network, Alabama's news source.
Welcome back to Alabama Live. He's been on the Today Show, has his own cookbook, and then he made the big time, part of Alabama Live. Chef Mark Leslie joins us, and we love having you around. You're always off and about doing projects all over the country. You were in Denver, is that correct?
I was in Denver working for a while. I did a little show out for the Hallmark Channel on Home and Family. I did that in September, but I'm back here in Montgomery and going to be judging for the Alabama Cattlemen's Association Junior Senior High Beef Cook-Off competition tomorrow. I think you're going to be there.
They said free food, yeah.
It's amazing. It's really great. So today we're going to cook with beef, since tomorrow we're going to be judging beef.
Yes, sir.
We might as well get started.
Okay, what are we making?
Well, the recipe online actually says veal tips with polenta.
Okay.
Some people are opposed to veal, so we're actually going to do beef tips today.
Okay.
So a little grown-up cow.
Yeah.
And since it's winter, we thought we'd do that. What you're going to do, in the pan I have butter and olive oil going. And the olive oil just helps the butter have a higher smoke point so you actually don't burn. Okay. We're actually going to put the meat in. Good, you hear sizzle. That's what you want to hear. Turn this up a little bit.
What do you crank that thing up to? Like medium or a little past medium?
You want to go about medium, high. You really don't want to cook low. Low cooking really doesn't help things caramelize, and that's where you get your flavor. So you really want to cook things hotter than most people think you do.
Okay.
So you're going to put the beef in the pan, and you just want to kind of spread it around, and you're going to let it sit. We're going to add to that onions. This is a recipe that I learned in Italy. This is kind of the Italian version of Grillades and Grits, and I know people in the South know about Grillades and Grits. This is the Italian version. In Italian, this is called Spezzatino.
Okay.
But here it's called Grillades and Grits. You can call it beef tips. You're going to let that brown, and we're just going to get a little color on that. I'll talk a little bit about the difference between polenta and grits. Grits, I think most people in the South.
Like grits.
Yeah, it's grits, and it's a kind of coarse grade grind of a grit, and I guess that's why it's called grits, isn't it? So you can see it's a little coarser, and then polenta, which is the Italian version of grits, is much finer.
Yeah,
it's a finer grade.
Like little grains of sand.
Yeah, exactly. So when you cook the polenta up, you actually get a firmer, it almost makes like a cake if you let it sit, where grits stay creamy. So that's kind of the difference. When the Italians, when the settlers came over, or the discoverers came over and discovered the New World, they went back to Italy with corn, with tomatoes, things that we think now, especially tomatoes, were indigenous to Italy, and they weren't. So once, and the Italians kind of, made it their own good. Doesn't it smell good?
It smells excellent.
So you're going to take and you're going to saute the beef. You're going to get some color on it. I'm going to kind of jump ahead now because we're pressed for time. We'll add some garlic to that. You don't want to cook garlic very long. You want to add the garlic maybe 30 seconds before you move on.
Okay.
You just want to put that in to get some color, add some flavor. This dish really doesn't take that long. I mean, it takes probably about a half hour to cook. And I always think people want their food in an instant, but really good food is fast, but you have to put a little bit of time in it. But that's what gets people coming to the table.
We were talking, too, about just if you're hosting a party, if you're having some friends over, what a better way to impress people. I mean, you could order something, but if you do something like this, which is relatively simple if you follow the instructions correctly, this looks like quality restaurant-type food.
Oh, yeah, and what's great, I think guys forget, too, that, women only cook, and that's not true. I mean, if you want to make a really special impression on Valentine's Day, guys, get out there and cook. I mean, actually cook for your date. So
that's going to get some brownie points.
A lot of brownie points. You can get away with a lot after you cook a meal. So this is sauteing. We've got the garlic in. Now we're going to add some white wine.
Okay.
And I know we're cooking with beef, and most people want to use a red wine, but if you're going to actually do this with veal, veal is a lighter beef, so you would actually use white wine. I actually like using white wine with beef. You can mix it up. Really, when I was in Italy this summer learning about wine, you pretty much can put any wine with anything, whatever you like to drink, with whatever you like to eat.
And all the alcohol cooks out of it, so it's
That's right. You're going to let this cook for a couple of minutes, let the alcohol flavor cook out. You're going to let it reduce a little bit, and that will concentrate the flavor. And then you're going to add salt and pepper, a little bit of salt and pepper to this. You stir that around, and then we're going to add whole tomatoes. You're going to crush them in a bowl. I would let you do this, except you'll wear it all over your suit. I know. You got to look professional. I get to be the mess. So we'll put that in. You're going to stir that around for a little bit. So let me wipe off my hand here. We're really cooking, so we got to really mess.
You came prepared. They got towels hooked up to your belt buckle. You got it all.
You have to. So you're going to let this cook. You're going to bring this up to a boil. You're going to let it cook. Do you want to bring out a knife? Do you know how to use a knife? Good?
You show me. We've got about 30 seconds left.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot, come
Yeah,
on.
I'll lose a finger.
We're going to chop up some rosemary in here just a little bit.
God, that smells good, right, when you cut it?
Yeah, rosemary is really fragrant, and it smells the minute you touch it, so it's amazing. You're going to put that in. You're going to stir that around. You're going to let this cook. You're going to cover it. You're going to let it cook for probably about 40 minutes, stirring it around. We're going to do the old magic swap out.
The magic of television.
Exactly.
Put one away, bring the next one out.
Bring out the other one. And after you're done, it'll look like this here. And so that's what you'll end up getting. It'll kind of reduce down, and you're going to take and plate it up. We'll put it up on top of the polenta here.
Now let's plate it up.
Yeah.
What is this called again? Spezzatino?
Spezzatino.
That's what I said. Spezzatino.
Mamma mia.
My Italian's not very good.
There you go, right. So you're just going to take this, you're going to put a little bit on top.
Okay.
Just like Grillades and Grits. There's a fork right there. Why don't you give a taste?
I think I will.
Excellent. Once again, this is something that's really great to make for the family over the weekend. It doesn't take that long. Beef, Alabama has some great beef providers, and they're doing really great cuts of meat here in the South. How is it?
It's very moist.
Yeah, it's great. What it is, it's got a lot of, not a lot of fat in it, but it has some fat in it. And as you cook it long and slow, that kind of caramelizes and it absorbs moisture, and you end up with really moist meat.
That is excellent.
Thanks.
Chef Mark Leslie. We'll have the recipe on our website. You can check it out.
That's
When
right.
do we get to see you again?
You're going to see me in February, and we'll start doing every Friday.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming. As always, great food. Chef Mark Leslie, you can get the recipe by going to our website on WSFA.com. Up next to check on the forecast.